Not as big as the last one, but still a lovely vantage point. Now, when I go up the termite mound, I want to do the same as a lion or leopard do. I don't want my profile to stick out, so if the lions are close by, they might see it and move away. So I want to just keep a little bit low. Okay, no sign. What? Oh, little grey dyker dashing away. But we're going to keep looking for these lions and also all the other little interesting things we might find out here on the Bushwalk. And hopefully we don't fall off the top of any termite mounds. But let's go see how Taylor's search for leopard in the east of Djuma is going.
Still looking for this leopard. No luck just yet. We had some really nice tracks though, and we were following them for a bit, but I seem to have lost them now. So I'm hoping that as we're doing this, well, we're just going to pop back up onto those tracks again. But what I am going to do is I'm probably going to head around, we're on Hippo Pools Road at the moment, and go towards Buffels Hook Dam. Now, I don't even know if there's water in the dam at the moment, but we'll go and have a look, because whoever this leopard may be, they've been walking quite a distance, and hopefully they've built up a thirst for something to drink, and well, that would be a good spot to go and check, because that pan that's on the sort of Hippo Pools Road, Quarry Pan Junction, well, let me just turn the game drive radio. Hang on, I need to do a quick chat on the radio again. Last month we'll just go again. Did you say you still had Karula's tracks? Okay, copy, thanks. Right. So I was just chatting to Johan. He said that he had a track come in from Buffels Hook side and come onto the cut line but then disappear again. So I wonder whose that was. Maybe Mvula. He seems to like it up around here. He says he's given up, so if we don't come right here with these leopard tracks that we've had that are sort of somewhere in this area, well, then maybe we'll go and have a little look around there. But I think for the moment though, we must stick with our gut and go and check the closest watering source. We'll see if anything is happening around there. But it seems as I'm really only having luck with the birds today, which is okay. Who have we got sitting up here? Let's see, we've got a bird. Hello, birdie. Let's have a closer look at you. Look at that lovely blue sky. So nice to see the African sky. Hello, little bird. Now, it's not particularly large. It looks very much like a Wahlberg's eagle to me from this angle. Just sitting there waiting patiently. Maybe looking for a mongoose to run past it. It'd be quite nice, a nice meal. Oh, did you see the shrike? Let's see if we can just get a better view. It looked like a red-backed shrike. So if you go from the shrub of thorns on the ground and then you go into the trees directly behind it, yeah, okay, actually go zoom up a little bit. I can hear it. I thought I saw a red-backed shrike for a moment. It's hopped somewhere. There it goes. There you go. It's sitting up in the top of the tree. It might be difficult now because we've got the sun not really in our favor. There it is, just at the bottom of the screen in the middle. Look at that. Can you see that little shrike there? That looks very much like a red-backed shrike. I haven't seen one of those in, I can't even tell you when the last time I saw a red-backed shrike was. Isn't that amazing? And it's something as common as a beautiful bird like this that has evaded me for quite some time. But listen to it. You heard it was chirping a little bit. Now it's not chirping very loudly, but this is the male shrike. The female is not quite as colourful. I'll see if I can bring up a photo of a female for you. But I just love that beautiful black stripe across the eye. It almost looks like when it's raining and you're wearing mascara and eyeliner and, well, you didn't pick up the waterproof kind, and you wipe your eyes, you sort of get that big black smudge across your face. That's what that reminds me of. But beautiful birds, and as the shrikes go, quite savage, quite vicious, and also known for capturing insects and spiking them on thorns or barbed wire. Well, my favorite shrike that does that is the fiscal shrike, which is the shrike that's black and white. We don't really see them up here. They're not very common. But this is so wonderful that we're seeing such an array of birds over these last few weeks as the weather warms up. Wow, fantastic. Isn't that wonderful? So I want to show you, I've managed to find a picture of a female. Let's bring her up. Now I've managed to find a photo of the female redback shrike. There we go, I just pulled it up on my app. Try and angle it nicely. You can see not quite as colourful and lacking that big black eye stripe that they have. A little bit, almost looks like it's got a bit of a scaly sort of marking just on the side of the breast, very white breast, and then of course the red wings that you see. But a beautiful looking bird nonetheless, but not quite attractive as the male. Now, Anna Marie, you were wondering while I was in Florida if I saw any flamingos. Sadly, I didn't see any flamingos, but I was keeping an eye out for them. But my goodness, I saw lots of lots of some sort of a sandpiper. I didn't have a book to really identify them. They were all over the beaches. They were quite interesting to see. I saw pelicans. I think they were brown pelicans. Lots and lots of them around. A couple of different seabirds. I saw a bird that I hadn't seen before. One of the frigate birds. I've forgotten which species exactly it was. That was really beautiful. Actually, that's because we've got them in South Africa. I'm going to show you what a frigate looks like, and I could be saying it differently, but tomato, you know, same but different. Let's see if I can find it here. I'm looking at for F. There we go, page 50. I'm just going to show you that all over the world we've got different species. I'm going to show you the frigates that we see. Getting there, haha. So if we go to these two, you can look at any one of them. Let's look at this one. You can see that beautiful sort of fork in the tail, not quite like a fork-tailed drongo, but you can see a big gap, and it's really, really beautiful when they fly, and that's sort of the easiest way to identify them. Actually, if we go up to this other species that we've got over here, oh no, it's the same one. Oh no, it's the greatest, sorry, my bad. You can see nicely when it flies how that sort of tail opens up, and it's the most beautiful silhouette that you will see over the ocean. And this is my first time actually seeing any of these birds. I've never seen them in South Africa before, but I was sat there watching this species and on the beaches I was actually in the Keys when I was watching this. I was in Key West, and it was so territorial. It was chasing a gannet or something along those lines around, and was being quite persistent. It even at one point chased a pelican. Now a pelican is much larger in size, and it just wouldn't give up. It kept chasing and chasing and chasing, which was quite interesting to see. So that was quite nice. What else did I see? Oh, I saw a bald eagle. Can you believe it? As if one was flying over the top, and you can imagine I shouted fish eagle, and then I was like, no, wrong country, wrong continent, and then corrected myself. I saw the ospreys, which was amazing because we see ospreys in South Africa as well, so that was really fun. And bird life was incredible, but sadly I didn't get an opportunity to go into the Everglades, but I can't do it all at once. I'll probably hopefully go back to the States early next year sometime, and hopefully for a little bit longer, and look at a couple more things. No, and now No, I'm very sad my answer to you, Carl. I got excited. I answered your question quickly. My goodness, there's so much going on. I'm going to reverse because I think I found the flower I've been looking for a long time. Now, Carl, you were wondering if I saw any gators. Sadly not. I didn't see any gators, but I did see some turtles. Now, the turtles were very much like our terrapins that we see that sit on the tops of the hippopotamus, and I experienced a turtle race, which was quite interesting. Basically, at a restaurant, you go and you pick you choose between 4 turtles, you choose a number, and it's all free, and you can win some money type of thing. It was all in good fun, and the money went to conservation of turtles, and it was really funny. So they had these little turtles, they put them on a board, and it was a very short race. It lasted about 2 minutes, and whichever one crossed the line first won. Just sat and didn't do anything. I don't know, they were obviously not nocturnal turtles, but they didn't seem to enjoy it. Now I just want to move the vehicle quickly because I hope my eyes weren't playing tricks on me. And let me have a look here. I'm gonna jump out again. Let's not get caught to my earpiece this time. Please, 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 please. Yay! Yay! I'm so excited now. It's only taken me 3 months, but I'm going to jump in so in case if Louise shouts at me. She doesn't shout, she's very nice. Then I can hear what she says. But I'm so excited. I've just picked one, and it's not quite open just yet. I'll have a look at this beautiful thing. Can you see it? Isn't that amazing? This lovely little orange flower. Now, it doesn't look like much because it hasn't opened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and turn it towards you. And this flower is called, the common name is either a lion's eye or a roadside pimpernel is the other name. Now, it's very sticky on the ends as I'm touching this. I've never noticed that before, how sticky the sort of end bits of it are. And this is an incredibly toxic flower. Can you believe it? It has got a toxin called pentacyclic cyanogenic glycosides. And I'll say that again. It took me a while to learn this toxin. Pentacyclic cyanogenic glycosides. And basically what that does is if you were to ingest large amounts of this specific toxin, it'll actually stop your body from producing ATP, which is the energy that goes to your muscles and allows them to work, which would essentially cause a heart attack. It would cause you to go into cardiac arrest. So this one you often see in South Africa. If you've had the privilege of coming over, we love to eat the local flowers. I wouldn't eat this one because I'm not sure on the dosage. Small amounts of of this pentacyclic cyanogenic glycosa. This toxin is good for you, but I'm not a chemist, a pharmacist, a doctor, so I couldn't tell you how much it is. So rather don't eat this one, but we'll let that one go. But the animals' digestive systems are much more different to ours, so I suspect that they would be able to eat small quantities of them and be able to survive. But I'm very excited because I've literally been speaking about this particular flower now since I started working here, and finally I got to find one. So that was quite exciting. Now we're just going to carry along until we get towards Buffelshoek Dam, or I've called it Buffelshoek Ham before as well. We'll go there and see what's happening. Oh, it's very quiet out here. Now, speaking about the bald eagle, which I was very fortunate to see, it was very, very briefly. Now, Liz, you were wondering sort of what I thought about it and how would I compare them. Like I said, when I first saw it, my initial reaction was to shout fish eagle, which is obviously incorrect, to which Ryan then laughing and said, and then I went, oh no, bald eagle. But I had a good laugh at him because he didn't get to see it, because he was too busy trying to drive on the other side of the road, which was also quite an interesting thing. We drive on the left-hand side of the road, and well, everyone that lives in the US of A, you drive on the other side of the road, so that was quite daunting. They look so much the same, especially when they were in flight. Same white head, sort of white on the chest, and very much like an African fish eagle, but sadly I didn't get a proper look at it. It didn't land, it was just flying overhead, and I managed to catch a quick. So hopefully the next time I go I'll actually be able to photograph it. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to turn the Game Drive radio down a little bit. And something else that I found interesting is all those iguanas that sort of have plagued the Fort Lauderdale, or the whole of Florida, I suppose. But we found some on one of the state parks and in Key West, and they were so beautiful with all the different types of greens and things on them. They made for great sort of things to photograph. They were very, very sort of still warming themselves up. Now we're going to continue, and I'm going to head towards to Brent and see if he's managed to survive that termite mound.
Well, we found some harvested termites. Of our fleet near has sent most of them panicking to the ground, and the soldiers remaining on the outside defending the entrance. Now you'll probably find the workers are starting to already close up that hole just in case we're a real potential danger. Now, let's have a look. Dave, maybe let's try. Here's another group of them. Let's go to another group that our vibrations haven't disturbed as much yet. Okay, let's go carefully between them. So you see those ones there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that's just the vibration of our feet. And lets them know there's something big, and look at them, they're all panicking. They're running back for the hole. See how the soldiers stand in defense, and that head banging is communication. So they're letting everyone know that it's dangerous here, there's something coming. Incredible bite force for such a small animal. Oh, there's a big one. Hello, big soldier. Oh, see that bite? Now, he's able to tell that he's biting something that's not alive. There we go, look at that. Oh, he let go. He realized that my stick wasn't alive. I'm not as brave as James. I'm not going to put my finger in there. It is quite sore. And certain of the termite species do have some quite nasty chemicals in their bites as well. But very, very cool. A little soldier termite. Now, I'm really hoping that this year we find something called an African thief ant. Now, I'll try find, I'll bring one actually. I know where there's a dead red driver ant at home, but I'll bring one along. So basically a red driver ant is the queen of a type of ant species. They're about this big. Now the African thief ant looks exactly the same, except it's black, not red. And they are incredible because they are one of the termites' predators, but they got smart about being a predator. So even though the queen is massive, probably about the length of my thumb, the workers are minute. I mean, you can barely see them with a human eye. And what happens is when those queens leave, they leave with thousands of workers attached to their body. And they'll go land on a nice big termite mound, and they will make their nest on the edge of the termite mound. And those workers are so small that when they go into the termite colony, they can walk out with eggs and babies, and the termites don't even notice them because they're so tiny. I've only ever seen them twice in the Sabi Sands. I'm hoping that this rainy season will be lucky number 3. Hello, Pokemon Guy. Pokemon Guy is wondering, do we get exploding ants here? Not that I'm aware of. I haven't ever heard of any African ant species that explodes, but it would be quite cool to find some if there were. So we are still looking for the lions, but as we look for the lions, we're of course looking for all the wonderful little creatures that are out here as well. Now, very important, keep your eyes up. I'm checking it. Any strange little movements or colorations that might give me a clue to a big animal. And hello, James. James is wondering if I managed to ID which butterfly we saw on yesterday's bushwalk. Not yet, unfortunately, James. I've been through my one butterfly book. It's not in there, which means I have to take out the butterfly Bible, which is about this big and quite heavy going. But I will keep checking. Okay. So no sign of tracks yet. Now, I don't know if you've been to Jamie, where Herbie met up with Jamie and they had a little discussion. And it seems like the Nkuhuma Pride were chased by the Majingaline males from the west last night. So they could be quite split up. So that's why we're going quite slowly. They could be quite nervous or quite aggressive after a run-in with some unknown male lions. So we're going very, very carefully while we're checking. And we've heard there's some more tracks a bit further to the west of us, so we're going to start heading off in that direction. Now, after lions are chased by other lions, it's not uncommon for the pride to bombshell. So there could be lions in all sorts of places, and it might take them a day or two to reconnect. Now, of course, those type of interactions are always the most dangerous for the cubs. So we don't know any more information. Maybe Jamie has some more information. She spoke to some of the guides in the west. We don't know. I just know what Herbie told me from his radio conversation. Okay. Well, we've reached Ballaniti's Road with no sign of any tracks. So I think we're going to cut through across Impala Plains. Maybe have a look if there's any wildflowers out this side, and then cut back into the bush and head towards the west, towards the power lines where there's some more tracks. So far, no tracks in this area, so we're going to keep moving. Now, nice thing about approaching a big open area is you might find some antelope species on it. But we're going to keep on with our on-foot endeavours. Onward we go. While we do that, let's go see what's happening at the Buffelshoek waterhole.
The only life we have found here at Buffelshoek Dam is the terrapins, the distant cousin of the turtle, or what you call turtles, in the US. And you can see lots of their little heads popping up. And I'm quite sad as to the sight that we're seeing here. As you can see, the water level has dropped quite a bit. Look at that little guy popping its head out. You can even see it breathing. Can you see that? Isn't that lovely? And it's a pity that they're so shy and that we can't get too much closer. Otherwise, they just pop back into the water. But you can see, though, that Buffelshoek Dam, I know you've been seeing it probably for the last couple of weeks, but it has dried out a significant amount. And it's sort of muddy, it's a bit stinky from all the sort of mud now. It looks like there's a little bit of algae forming in the water. It's not looking really too wonderful, but we're going to carry on from here and see what else we can find. Sadly, no luck for any leopard around here, and I've completely lost all the tracks now. Now, as we see, actually this is a much better view of the dam because we can get all of it now. You can see now how it's dried up quite a bit. The last time that I saw the dam, the little island between the two pans of water was much smaller, And of course the water was much deeper. Now Corey from Massachusetts, you're wondering if we ever see any fish in these pools of water that we have on the property. And if we do, what would hunt them? Now Corey, we do. Occasionally we'll see a catfish. Now what we're looking at now on the surface of the water, those ripples, that's probably insects. But catfish will do very much the same thing. And I haven't seen any fish just yet. But this would be a perfect place though for them to hang around. Now, lots and lots of things. You can see a terrapin quickly shuffling across the mud and into deeper waters. Now, birds, so from ospreys to African fish eagles to a tawny eagle, really to any of the raptors, they would feed on fish. But something specifically like an osprey and an African fish eagle, they are very good at capturing those. Even something like a leopard would catch a catfish. I have never seen that happening just yet, so that's one of the things that are on the agenda to see hopefully in the next few years, is a leopard catching a catfish. I'm sure even a lion cub would be quite curious as to what a fish is splashing around in the water. So really anything in the times of a drought will make use of any kind of food, even if it is something unusual. Just having a look, I thought I saw a cuckoo land in one of the trees, but I could have been mistaken. Oh no, there's something flying. Oh, there goes a cuckoo. It looked like an African cuckoo that flew away. That was very, very quick though. We'll see if we can get another view. Now, fortunately, that cuckoo, I think it looked very quick. You didn't get a great view of it. It looked like it is now. Oh no! Come back! It's sneaky. I think there might be a pair of them. Aww. No, gone now. Okay, that's the end of the cuckoo now. Sorry about that. I'm being distracted by all the different types of birds that we have. Now, Sean from Secunda, you were wondering if there are any insects, birds, or animals that can predict rain. I think in an element, the animals are very good at anticipating when the rains come, much better than we are as humans are able to do. You know how sort of on target the weatherman is. Not very good all over the world, unfortunately. Now, we say, if only you say this, a moment ago, just as we sort of finished a scene with you, as we drove off, we saw a Burchell's cuckoo, which is a bird, and now they're known as the rain bird. Now, one of my and down there they are spot on when it comes to rain. Just before, sort of a day or two before the rainy weather would come through, they'd sort of start to come out and you'd hear the call of the Burchell's cuckoo, that very bad attempt, but they make a noise something like that. And then of course, well, that would be an indication that a couple of days later. Right, so there's quite a few different things, but I have to say the Burchell's cuckoo is probably my favorite and I think the best at predicting weather. But we're going to head back across onto Jamie's vehicle and see if she's having any luck yet with those Nkuhumas.
Oh, drat! Just missed. Wait, there we go. We can still see them. Sorry, that wasn't the way I wanted to start my sentence, but as I saw them, they flew away. And we've got a pair of really beautiful grey-headed parrots. And yesterday I was desperately trying to get one on camera, but it was very silhouetted. We could see it, but you could only really get an idea of the vague shape of the bird, rather than its colouring or anything of the sort. So what a nice surprise, that bright green standing out very clearly, especially when they fly away. Then you can really get an idea of just how beautiful they are in a very fleeting way. Right, since our brown-headed parrots have fluttered off, they've gone in the opposite direction now. They were obviously searching for fruit in the various trees. They are frutivores. Frutivores. They do enjoy feeding off the various fruits. Oh, these lions. Interesting update, obviously coming from Simbambili, that it was the Majingilans responsible for chasing them away. Standing by, Herbie. This could be interesting news. Copy that, Herbie, I will do. I'm on Rebecca's now, I'll take Zoe's and then check access road. That's interesting, Brian. Herbie's got their tracks going the other way to where we did. So these lions have been all over the show. And obviously if it was the Majingilans, which it sounds like that was the update from the various other guides in that area, you can understand that the Nkuhumas would be severely rattled by their presence. They've got 6 gorgeous little cubs that they have to protect, and being the good moms and aunts that they are, they would immediately have shepherded those little creatures away as quickly as possible. And now the question remains, which direction did they go? And that might also explain if Herbie and Brent have picked up on their tracks elsewhere, the Pride might have scattered slightly in their panic and then come back together again. So we might have ended up with 2 separate, distinct sets of tracks that then will merge into one. But what we're going to do, we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. Oh look, a mammal. Hold on, I was going to pick up the pace a little bit, but at this point in this morning, we cannot afford to pass up any opportunity to look at an animal with a heartbeat, since a great deal of them have been largely absent. And listen closely. There is a very special bird calling, unless it's decided to stop. It was a black-bellied bustard. I know this fly, I know we're looking at the Waterbuck, but this fly has been with us the entire time. It is now sitting on the dashboard. It just flew into Brian's face. I assume that's what the was for. And it keeps landing on my face as well, and it really isn't a pleasant-looking fly. There you go, look at the evil hair, look at the evil hand rub. Mwahaha. I'm going to plague everybody. I'm going to plague the 2 drivers of this vehicle. Big, slow, unpleasant, pale fly that has been plaguing us since we started. There we go, there's the cleaning its head. Standing by, Herbie. And off it goes. Right. Copy. Thanks, Brent. I'm on my way. They found the lions! In the complete opposite direction which I was looking, which is most distressing. So what on earth was going on there, I do not know, but Herbie calls me, and then there's silence. And then Brent goes, Jamie, just come to Power Lines in Parla Road. So I think they had a little bit of a surprise. Hold on, everybody, we're going to race through there. Yay! At least one of our mysteries has been solved as to what's been happening and where our lions have gone. Okay. Wonder how they got there. Very confusing. Yay, this is exciting. It's been a very quiet morning, full of different tracks and no answers, so I'm glad that we've at least come to the conclusion because one of the things I didn't mention was I also found Tingana's tracks crossing into Arathusa, very fresh tracks. And I had to make a choice between the lions and trying to find Tingana. So I've left Ryan from Arathusa to try and find Tingana, whilst we followed up on the lions. And hopefully we'll be able to, either at the end of the sunrise safari or at the sunset safari, go and see our big dominant male leopard. But I didn't have any guarantees he was still going to be on Arathusa, so I left him and decided to look for the lions. So it's been a morning of many tracks. Many tracks and some confusion. There's Shadow's tracks. There's a whole wide range of new bumps. Sorry, Brian, you're holding on back there. Maybe it'll cure the hay fever. Or, you know, not. So the bumps in the road, while we race along towards the lions, are not to reduce the speed of the guides or the speed at which the guides drive. Believe it or not, we don't have a problem with speeding in the reserve, except perhaps on maybe the main access roads. But they're actually more for the control of water flow, because of course the roads are a very easy place for water to flow down, and you can actually really upset the balance of the water table with roads in wrong places. So the bumps stop the water from, regular bumps, stop the water from flowing down the roads and sort of redirect them off on either side. Whee! So there you go, Carter, you were wondering about what the bumps were for. They are for water runoff, they are not for speed, although they certainly have an impact on that as well. But they're not for speed, they're for water runoff. Look who we found! Not a lion. Hello? Yes.
Hi guys.
It's very interesting, seeing as the last tracks I had of them were going off there.
They come into this block and then...
Oh, did they skip through here?
Parallel. And then unfortunately they got a bit of a fright.
Ah.
We popped up over here. They were lying over there and they went towards the power lines.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
We don't want to
no, obviously not.
scare them further, so
yes.
we've left them be. I think they killed the baby impala. And the mom calling incessantly and sort of following us.
Oh, shame.
Yeah, so I think they might have caught a baby impala as well.
What would that have been? 2 mouthfuls and gone?
Yes. No,
pretty much.
I think not even 2.
Shame. Poor little thing. Okay.
Okay, well, good.
Right.
If you don't find them again, we can. I don't want to walk them too much, especially if they got chased
they
by
might have.
males
I was going to
last
say
night.
they might have thought you were the Majingilans come back to haunt them.
Yeah, so we don't want to push them too far. So I think we're going to go wide berth and around.
No sign of Shadow, because she looked like she did come into this block.
She crossed back out to
Where?
the western block. I don't know, I only found tracks in the block.
Okay. That she must have done.
Sneaky, these cats.
Sneakily. But Tingana was in there as well with her.
He's gone across.
Yes, I know. He's probably running from her. Okay. All right.
Bye,
Cheers.
guys.
We'll see you shortly. Well, no, we won't. We'll see the lion shortly. Thank you. And there we go. Our Bushwalk team has provided us with our lion sighting. Where to now? Hopefully they haven't gone too far. Oopsie. Oh, sorry. Just once. Just one, because I love it so much. The black-bellied bustard on top of a termite mound. And they're just so thoroughly entertaining to watch. Call for us just once, please. It's my favorite sound. Or one of my favorite sounds. Black-bellied bustard, you have 30 seconds to make your claim for fame. Or else I'm going to have to go and find those lions. Come on. Don't be shy. Brian, we might be in need of your incredible imitating skills. Because I know I can't do a black-bellied bustard call of any way, shape, in any way, shape or form. Just one. Please. Pretty please. Stage fright. There we go. I love that call. It's that pop at the end. That champagne cork pop. And the movement of their neck as they do it that is so terribly entertaining. Right, I'm going to concentrate on figuring out where these lions have gone. So let us head across to Brent so that he can tell you the thrilling tale of their discovery again.
So as I said, I'm pretty sure that those lions caught a baby impala. We've got a mother, probably not more than 70 or 80 meters from where we found the lions, and she's calling incessantly, burr, burr, burr. I was hoping she's going to come out into the open here. It's just, she's just behind those bushes. I don't know if we can hear it. I think it's a bit far away. She's just trying to see if she's going to move. And she's been just hanging on the periphery of these thickets. The lions were just over there. Brr, brr, shame. Now, normally we'd probably try find where that impala was killed, but I think the lion's so close, so nervous after possibly being chased by males, that we're going to start moving away from that area. We're going to give Jamie the best chance. Ooh! Ooh! Some flowers! Oh, there she is. She has come out into the open over there. We'll look at her now. One of my favorite little flowers that grows on disturbed soils. There we go. The blue evolvus, or blue haze. Very pretty little flower. We only found them during the summer months. There we go. Pretty, very delicate little things. And then over here we've got a gemsbok flower, or gemsbok daisy. Also another one of our, only in the summer months. Pretty little one. You can see the very daisy-like shape. Oh, shame that mum impala is not keeping quiet. Let me have a look. There she is. Calling forlornly. Oh, the lions in such close proximity, and you would it's almost a guarantee that they might have grabbed her little baby. Now, there's also a huge amount of wildlife buzzing around us, and it's actually almost deafening me at the moment. Now, you can probably see these little things that come in and out of frame in front, around wherever we're sweating a little bit, around our eyes, or around my ears at the moment. And these little mapani bees, the same type of bees that live in the giraffe skull in the tent. Now, they can be incredibly annoying at this time of the year, especially because it is quite dry, even though it's summer. So they will try utilize any bit of moisture, your eyes, sweat. So the problem is if you kill one of them or squash one of them, they release a pheromone that lets the rest of the hive know that there's moisture here. So you get more. So you've got to sort of quick step it to get away from them. Okay, there we go. No, it didn't work. We're going to jog, Dave. Come on, Dave. Let's go, Dave. Get away from the bees. Get away from the bees. No, it hasn't worked. I think we're just going to have to live with them for the rest of the morning walk. Remember, this is 100% live, and hopefully Jamie's found those lions shortly. But they might have bombshelled when they saw us. As I said, they could be quite nervous after coming across the Majingalan males last night. Now, the Majingis haven't been up in this area for a long time, or up into the western sections where they were. So So I'm sure it came as quite a shock to our Nkuhumas. But they headed north from here. I'm just seeing what Herbie's looking at up ahead. Hi Paul. And Paul's wondering, aren't the Majingalan males normally at Londolozi? Well, from Londolozi further west, Singita into the western sections, or Lasaba, Nyati, that's sort of their core part of their territory. They used to come up north quite a bit, to Elephant Plains, Sibambili. But with how vocal the Birmingham boys have been recently, they seem to have stayed away from there. But the Birmingham boys have been in the south and in the east quite a lot recently, so maybe that's why they decided to come up into this area. Now, Marianne in Texas is wondering what would be the reaction of the Birmingham boys to this. Well, where the Nkuhumas were sort of falls outside of the Birmingham's territory. They do go into Arathusa, but they don't, and Sibambili, but not as far west as the Nkuhumas were. So it all depends on how much noise was made. If a lot of noise was made, they probably would come rushing through, but it doesn't look like it, because I heard, as far as I heard, there's some Birmingham boys on Torchwood and Buffelshoek, so maybe they didn't hear what happened last night. So we're actually just going to go, the lions ran from here, but this is the area that they were in when we spotted them. Here we go. This is the track of a lion getting a fright. You can see there's the paw print running in that direction. So this is where we spotted them from. We'll probably be about 60 or 70 meters away. Oh, shame, it's that impala coming back towards us. She almost seems to be following us, and probably if we look carefully around here we might find, well, it's going to be very difficult to find. Oh, we've got a spider web there. It's going to be quite difficult to find with lions that where a kill that small took place. But they were all in here in these quarries. Have a look. You can just see tracks disappearing to the north. As I said, we're not going to, unless Jamie can't find them again, we're not really going to put too much more pressure on them. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have gone too far, although they might have run a little bit further because of their interactions with male last night. Now, lions running from us on foot during the day is a completely natural reaction. We are the dominant diurnal predator. Oh, Dave, stop, you're going to hurt yourself. That is a Ziziphus. There we go. There we go. You don't want to hurt the poor cameraman. So that's a completely natural reaction. Now, modern day lions, Dave trying to get away from some of the bees there. Modern day lions and modern day humans evolved into what we are at about the same time, between 400 and 200,000 years ago, depending on which scientist you speak to. And being apex predators, the both of us, we were in competition for food. But we developed into the dominant diurnal predator. We're able to deal with heat. We're able to walk long distances in heat. Oh, you got rid of it. Well done, Dave. Few other animals are able to process heat and still be functional. Human beings are one of the only creatures that can do that. Lions, on the other hand, have massive problems with dealing with heat. So because we evolved around the same time, lions rule the night and we rule the day. And one of the reasons lions are a social predator is probably a lot to do with us being a social predator. So because we're competing often for the same food resources, bigger food resources, we would use traps and spears and things like that, whereas lions would use their claws and teeth. Teeth and claws. It's an interesting thing. So a single man who doesn't get on with the rest of the group, he doesn't survive, because walking around here by yourself, being a loner, not having a nice home to go to, you're going to get eaten by a lion at night. But a group of men going through here. Now, imagine there were 30 of us, 8 Nkuhumas, we've got our spears, we can push them into a corner, we might lose a few, but so will they. So that's how that sort of uneasy truce developed, that day versus night. And during the night, they will eat us. It's not if, it's when. If you walk around in the bush at night and you don't get eaten by a lion, it's just because the lion didn't see you. Not because it won't, not because it doesn't want to, just because it didn't see you. And I mean, that reaction of those lions, even though we were far away, we're about 80 meters away, they still bombshelled. Hopefully Jamie's going to have some luck with them shortly. As I said, we're going to try avoid the area now, move away from them, head back down towards quarantine, go look for some wildflowers. I mean, one big cat sighting on foot a day is all one needs, really. Get that blood going. Now, speaking of the incredible Nkuhumas, I can hear Jamie not too far away, and it looks like she's found them.
And there we go. There's our Pride 1 lioness looking across at where Brent is. I can hear his voice as well. But the rest of them have relaxed and decided to have a rest after what I can only imagine has been one very busy night. So there we go. Finally, Brian, success with our lions. Hello, girls. I'm just going to wait for them. I know we don't really have a very good view. I'm just going to wait for them to relax a little bit, and just so that they feel a bit more comfortable. And as soon as they feel a bit more comfortable, then we shall move in and get a slightly better view. They've had a hard night, and just when they thought their hard night was over, the walking team surprised them. Well, they surprised the walking team. I'm not sure which way round it goes. Perhaps a bit of both. And we'll just give them a little bit of distance. As soon as this female lies down, then we know that they are fully relaxed. It's all right, big girl. It's okay. It's been a bit of a busy evening. Majingilans, baby impala. Now, Jay Atkinson, you say that this is the first time that you've ever heard about the Majingilan males, and you were wondering if anybody could tell you anything more about them. I would say that actually the people best placed to do that will be some of our viewers who have been following the fates and fortunes of the various lions of this area for a very long time. All I can tell you is that they've been dominant males for quite a long time. I'm not sure exactly how many years, but quite a long time. To the west and a little bit to the south of us, there are 4 of them, to the best of my knowledge. And if I'm not mistaken, the Majingilans were in part responsible for the fall of the 6 great Mapochos at one stage not too long ago, not too many years ago. So the Majingilans they're not ancient lions, but they are relatively old. They're massive. They've got big manes, big black manes, and in fact are probably quite a lot larger than the Birmingham boys at this stage. What you doing, girl? Are you going to settle down now? So that those of you with more information about when the Majingilan male lions came in and exactly where it was that they moved in from, where they came from, I have never ever seen them before. I've heard much about them and I have seen many pictures of them, but I don't know anything about their individual characteristics or exactly where it was they moved from. Come on, girl, it's all right. She's doing her job as a protective lioness, making sure that they're okay. Now, David in Napa, you want to know if we could potentially have another coalition showdown occurring. Well, bear in mind that the Majingilanis, they're not a new arrival. They've often moved through into Simbambili, so it's sort of on the extremities of their territory. I don't necessarily think that is going to occur. I think the Nkuhumas moved a little bit too far to the western fringes of their home range, and they just happened to overlay with the Majingilans at that particular time. As to whether or not there's going to be a showdown, I don't think so. I think that the lion coalitions in this area for now, at least with the Majingilans and the Birmingham boys, are relatively well and comfortably established. I mean, you can never say never, but I doubt that that's going to occur. I don't think the Majingilans are making a push. As I've said, they've established themselves. They're not really going to try and tackle 4 young, healthy males. They could. Anything is possible with male lions, and instinct is power is a potent thing. A coalition showdown, though, is exactly what we don't want, because depending on what happens, it's either way, it is going to mean utter chaos for our poor Nkuhumas. Right, they're lying down now, which means that we can actually reposition and see if we can't get a good view, go and do a head count of the cubs. They are here, they're just hidden behind a bush. The moms have placed themselves between the cubs and their perceived danger. Hello guys. Hello ladies. And Tamira, you wanted to do a head count as well. Sure, it's a little bit tricky, Tamira. I think we're going to have to... Sorry, I'm actually going to go all the way around. I think I see a path. Tamira, can you give me one moment on that? Because I've got 4 lionesses. I'm not sure how many cubs, and there could actually be 5 lionesses. It's a bit tricky in here to tell. They're all lying clumped together, so one lion kind of blends into the next. Oh dear. What have I done, Brian? Oh dear. We appear to be going very much in the wrong direction. Oh goodness gracious. Okay, let's try here. I did say it. Oh! So we'll have to try and do a head count in a moment. Watch heads. Let's try and keep our own first before we start counting others. You okay there, Brian? Cool. So in these sorts of areas, we are very, very cautious about the trees that we drive over. There will only be certain species that we will drive over, and those are trees that are going to pop right back up behind us, which they do, I promise. So what I'm doing is picking my route very carefully so that there's a tree stuck to my bull bar. No, so that I don't do any damage to the ecosystem itself. Fortunately, I've landed myself in a royal mess. Watch that tree, I don't want that to spring up on you, Bebop. Hello! I have arrived. Not really in style, but I have arrived. Let's do it. How's your view there, Brian? Should we have a look? Let's just see what we can see from here, and then I'll slowly start edging closer. I want to still give them a little bit of space. Hello, guys. There's Amber Eyes looking at us with a little bit of a pant. Oh, goodness. That's going to be very, very tricky. 1, 2, 3, 4 lionesses. 4 lionesses here. There's definitely one cub there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. I think I've got a head count of 6 here. Yes, there's number 6 just coming in here with one very round belly. Perhaps he's the one that ate the impala. Yes, you. Talking about you. You big scruffy thing. Okay, I'm pretty sure we've got all 6 cubs here, which is a very encouraging sign. So after all of the drama, moms have managed to keep them safe and sound and all together again. As for where the missing lioness is, because for those of you that are new to these live safaris, there are 5 lionesses in this pride. Now, as to where she is, well, I'm not 100% sure. She might be off mating with a Birmingham boy. She might have become separated, but probably not. There you go. So we've managed to finally catch up with the gorgeous Nkuhumas. The incredible Nkuhumas is what Brent always calls them. Here we go. Okay, now Lane, you wanted to know why is a group of female lions called a pride. We've gone into this history before. I'm trying to remember the exact details. It's a linguistic distinction, and originally it would have stemmed from a time before we understood exactly how it was that Pawnee bees. Exactly how it was that lions. I think it was. I don't know when it first occurred in the English language, but it is definitely something that refers back to our perceived idea of them. Lions, of course, are just wild animals. They don't suffer from any of the hubris of magnificent big cats. It's not a very easy area, is it, Brian? Let me just try one more reposition. Right, one more reposition so that we can get a very good idea, or a better idea, of exactly who we've got here. We have a question about whether or not lions will hunt during the day or at night. They are nocturnal predators for the most part. So most of their hunting... Hello, girls. It's all right. Do you mind if I come through here? Here we go. Here we go. Thanks, girls. Sorry. So in terms of their nocturnal hunting, they're very big cats, and they've got a very, very poor temperature control system. In other words, they overheat very rapidly and very easily, which is why they are nocturnal hunters rather than diurnal hunters. However, a hungry lion does not read the books, so they can and do hunt during the day, particularly if they're hungry, which I have to say the Nkuhumas do not look particularly hungry. They look rather well fed. They've got round bellies, the cubs have got round bellies. All in all, they're looking to be in good health. But if they are hungry, we've seen the Nkuhumas before, we've seen them hunt in the middle of the day. So that does happen. Even occasionally on very, very hot days, we've seen them hunting. And today is proving to be quite steamy. Look at the little procession of cubs. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yay! All 6 little monsters are here. That is an absolute certainty. All 6 cubs are here. Present and accounted for. Well done, ladies. You kept your family safe. But there's definitely only 4 lionesses. So one of them, probably the youngest lioness, because Amber Eyes is here, and the other 3 females are mothers of cubs, so they won't be coming into estrus. So the 5th lioness is most likely the youngest lioness of the Nkuhumas. Perhaps she has found a Birmingham boy to keep her occupied, or potentially a Majingilani male. There's nothing to stop her from doing that. And it does happen particularly in situations where strange males to the pride come into an area. Very often the females will shepherd their cubs away, and the females that are not pregnant, lactating, or have cubs will actually go into a false estrus and actually go and attempt to distract the male lions. So that is possible. I don't know for certain, I'm just saying it is a possibility. Most likely she's off with a Birmingham boy somewhere. And what seems to have happened is that the Birmingham boys have moved further to the south and to the east, and that's maybe what's brought the Majingilans into this area. They just haven't heard the Birmingham boys roaring in this area for a while. And Karen, you wanted to know why are the male lions mostly away from the females? Well, it goes back to our conversation about prides and the fact that actually A pride of lions is just females, and they have a territory that is ruled over by a group of dominant males known as a coalition. Oh, Amber Eyes is up. Okay, we're all up. Sorry, the Mapani bees are attempting to find their way into my eyes, ears, and nose and mouth. They're distracting me slightly. Though the male lions aren't part of the pride. They are associated with the pride. They're dominant over the pride, but they're not part of it. They've got an important job to do in terms of keeping their territory safe from marauding males and other males that come into this area. How are you doing back there with the flies, Brian? Thousands, I tell you. Thousands and millions and billions. There are lots of them. So yes, the males are often off on their own. They are not reliant on the females. Sorry, Brian, you okay? They are not reliant on the females in any way to look after them. They are more than capable of looking after themselves and hunting for themselves. And they've got an important job to do in terms of keeping their territory safe, especially when they've got little cubs, as the Nkuhumas do. They've got to make sure that... Watch out there. They've got to make sure that their territories are protected, because if another group of male lions comes in, they are going to kill the cubs. But now, for some reason, our Nkuhumas are all going back towards Arathusa. That seems like a rather poor idea. I'm not quite sure what the reasoning is behind this. Let's just give her some space here. Johan. Are there any stations interested in following up on the Nkuhuma Ngala? The lioness is walking quite delicately. I think she's just dodging the thorns. Sorry everybody, just bear with me in one moment. They are just south of the power lines and west of Impala Road. They're now mobile southeast. I'll keep you updated. I think they might just be going to line the drainage line there. I'm not quite sure where we're going. Where are we off to, lionesses? Where are you taking us? Copy. Is Tundi with the Bantuan? If it's on Torchwood, probably Mulwanini. Sorry, everybody. Just getting an update for you on Tundi. And now we're going to have a really difficult time of things. I think we're going to have to go around here and to them. So we're just getting an update from one of the other vehicles that's out. I wanted to find out because he said that he wanted to come see the lions, but that he was with Tundi at the moment. Now Tundi is a female leopard, and I just wanted to find out whether or not she had her cub with her, but apparently not at the moment. Now, I'm going to have to do some serious bundu bashing. In other words, off-road driving. So while we do that, let's head over to the Bushwalk team.
I thought it would be a bit sweeter. Now that it was a very fresh leaf, it's not. Now this is an acacia tree. We don't get too many of on Djuma. It is called a shangwa in Shangaan, or a scented thorn, and it is a favorite of animals like kudu and bushbuck and inyala. Now there's a flower, one poor flower. There were a few more. Now the reason it's called, let's just move what the elephants have thorns. There we go. There we go. Beautiful smell, quite citrusy. But the reason it's called a scented thorn is not because of the flowers. Now I can't see any pods developing, just yet. The pods have the most wonderful sort of clean and fresh smell. So I must remember this one, and we'll have to come check on it when the pods come out, because it's such a wonderful clean smell. Sort of a really fresh, it's very difficult to describe, fresh, clean, I don't know what I'll say, fresh, and it's a fresh and clean smell. Now, another animal that really likes this is duikers. And as a child, believe it or not, we had pet duikers. And they used to sleep on the couch. And we used to have a lot of these trees in the garden. And the seeds of that are inside the pod are sort of about this big and the same sort of grey as those big fat ticks. So when you used to have visitors coming to it, and they would sit on the couch and they would suddenly see this grey big thing, and obviously we've got wild animals in our living room, and they would be, there's a tick, and of course it wasn't, it was just a seed. Our duikers were incredibly clean. The male's name was Hamish the grey duiker, and eventually Hamish just went to wild. We let him go wild. Now, even my family, our ideals have changed a lot since then. So my mom used to get a lot of rescued animals from the Natal Parks Board, and we had lots and lots of different wild pets that eventually were released. But as you do that, the longer and longer you do that, you realize that you're not actually doing them, the animals, any favors. Quite often they'll die when they're very young, so they do create, oh yay, I'll talk about that now. I just saw a dead jewel beetle. Look at that, isn't that stunning? Sapphire in color. Now you can understand why the ancient Egyptians would make jewelry based on beetles. There are some incredible colors and shapes in the insect world. Let me just try to turn him over. You can see just as oh, his head came off. But he's hollow and he's very much not alive. So it's just the outer shell. All the gooey bits are gone, probably eaten by something like an assassin bug. Let's actually have a look if we can see if something is fed. It's very difficult to see. But they are absolutely exquisite, these little jewel beetles. Now they can get quite big, and but this one is a little one. Very, very pretty. Okay, so we were chatting about wild animal pets. And as I was saying, even my family, we had quite a few. We probably would never have any more. And what happens, it is, as nice as it sounds, it's always very difficult for those animals to reacclimatize to the wild, even if you let them live outside. And generally it ends in tears. And as we learned a lot, I mean, we've had a couple of mongoose, genets, and eventually it all becomes very sad because normally some predator gets them. Now, the strangest one is probably we had an impala named, probably going to get in trouble for this one, but this was its name. The impala was named biltong. If you don't know what biltong is, it's jerky. And we had another impala named pot roast. Unfortunately, biltong and pot roast, this is why we're living in Zululand at Pinda. Biltong and pot roast got to sort of a year and a half, 2 years old, and wander out and join the other impalas, and then they ate them. So it's one of those things, and the longer you live in the bush and stuff like that, you realize that like having wild pets isn't good. If you truly, really love wild animals, you'll let them stay wild. Okay, so we're just checking through these little thickets, seeing if we can find anything fascinating. Now,
I can have a look at the beetles, and that I can get a photo of them and ID them. I suspect though it may be one of the blister beetles, but I'll have to confirm it. I'm not 100% certain. I just remember seeing quite a few that had these bright yellow spots on them, and normally when we see beetles that do have those yellow markings on them or red markings, and particularly against a black background, is that they are toxic in some form. I don't think that they'll be getting the toxin though from this flower. So as far as I'm aware, morning glory doesn't have too many toxins, unlike the lion's eye and a couple of others. But what A beautiful scene, that is. Thank you, little beetles. That was lovely. Something different other than just the birds today. They seem to be the only ones that, like I said, been saying, that want to be seen by me today. That's all right. Now, I believe that unfortunately some gremlins got hold of the system. I must apologize for that. Sometimes these things happen. But to make it up for you, I've got a pair of woodlands kingfishers, and it looks like they're doing a display up on the top of that marula tree. There we go. You can see them just to the left.
Africa, and from Dangerous Dave, the dish. He's been fantastic. I mean, we got to find the lions. We saw some incredible little things. So all our sort of things we set out for ourselves before we wandered off into the bush were successful. But we will be seeing you on the Sunset Safari again in a few short hours, and we look forward to our next adventure in the Greater Kruger National Park. From Dangerous Dave and myself, we'll see you later.
We have only just managed to keep up with the Nkuhuma Pride. Both Brian and myself were nearly squashed by a large dead bush willow that, when I drove on it, decided to roll halfway down the drainage line hill and nearly land in the vehicle with us. But we're both alive and unscathed, as of course are the Nkuhumas. And they've settled themselves in an almost impossible position. I can't get in here. It is a really very tricky spot. So this will be our last view of them for the sunrise safari. All 6 cubs alive and accounted for, still wandering about, panting away with very full bellies. So despite their brush with the Majingilan males, I say brush, the Majingilans probably came in, roared a few times, and the Nkuhumas probably went, no, it's time for us to leave. And there probably was at no point any danger to the Nkuhumas themselves. They probably just crept away silently off into the night and returned to the safe spot for them, which is Djuma. Because whilst the Majingilans might infringe a little bit on Birmingham Boy space, they're not likely to story I heard. That was what I was thinking of. The big fight that happened in June 2010 that apparently killed Kinky Tail of the Mapochos and sent Mr. T running. But that was after a fight where the Mapani bees, seriously, this is no, not up my nose. It was after a fight in which the Mapochos, or Kinky Tail and Mr. T, to be specific, killed one of the Majingilan males. So they were 5 strong. They then became a coalition of 4 male lions. And that ultimately resulted in one of the final moments of the Mapochos' reign. I don't know how... I'm just having a look at Brian. He's also got them. They're all over him. And I'm trying not to be distracted, but it's been a while since I've had quite so many of them swarming around, and they keep crawling all over and up my nose and around my head, and they just don't take no for an answer. It's not like a normal fly that if you do this, it goes away. And these ones stick around, and you just have this sort of constant blurry black motion in your peripheral vision. Now, Ellen, you were wondering if perhaps the bees that are gathered around us are attracted to the scent of the scents in our sun cream. That's entirely possible. What they're after, though, is our sweat, our moisture. That's why they keep going for our eyes and our mucous membranes. It's because that's where they feel they're going to find the most moisture. And the reason I know that is because I haven't put any sunscreen on yet. So I haven't added any, and I showered all of yesterday's sunscreen off last night. So they definitely are after the moisture in my eyes and any kind of sweat that they can find. Brian, you haven't got any sunscreen on, have you? No, they are definitely after our moisture. Right, well, it seems as though we've come to the end of our sunrise safari. Hopefully, the Nkuhumas will stick around for this afternoon sunset safari, and perhaps we'll have some good news on the whereabouts of Tingana. And of course, there's still no sign of Shadow, so there's lots to look forward to. this afternoon. A big thank you to Brian for his wonderful camera work, as always, and for dodging the Mapani bees, as well as to Lou and to Kirsty in final control, the entire Safari Live team. Thank you to the Mapani bees for keeping us company. I really am grateful. I think we would have been lonely without them. And most importantly, a big thank you to all of you for joining us. I hope to see you on the Sunset Safari. Bye-bye, everybody, and have a lovely day.